What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants. No hate. So, Conor Benn, Chris Eubanks Jr. fight is still on. So, let me read something. This is from Sky Sports. It says, "We have been made aware that a random anti-doping test for Conor Benn conducted by the Voluntary Anti-Doping Association returned an adverse analytical finding for trace amounts of a fertility drug." The statement read, "The B sample has yet to be tested, meaning that no rule violation has been confirmed." Pause. So, here's a joint statement from Matchroom Boxing and Wasserman. Okay, so Matchroom Boxing and Wasserman have released a statement confirming the fight is still set to go ahead on Saturday. Despite Conor Benn failing a drug test, Chris Eubanks Jr. is due to fight Benn at a catch weight of 157 pounds in Saturday's All-British Clash, which we know. Okay. And then it goes on to say, Mr. Benn has since passed a doping control test conducted by the UK Anti-Doping Agency, the Anti-Doping Authority, to which the British Board Boxing Control has delegated its doping control testing for the bout. Mr. Benn has passed all doping control tests conducted by UK. Both fighters have taken medical and legal advice, are aware of all relevant information, and wish to proceed with this bout Saturday. All right, so the fight is still on. Now, I just dropped a video last night, and I put up photos on the thumbnail. It's Clarissa Shields, Savannah Marshall, Baumgartner, Maynard, Eubanks, and Benn. And I put fights to look forward to. And then I put also on that thumbnail, at least we think so, right? So the fight is still on. Now, it's like a reasonable question for people to ask, why would he be taking a woman's fertility drug, right? Like, why? And there's always going to be speculation. There's always going to be, people are going to have a whole lot of things to say about it. The reality is this: we don't know what happened. We don't know. It's never a good thing to fail a drug test. People can put things in their body and be careless about it, not being aware of what they're taking, and you should always want to know what you're putting in your body. Also, understand this is a big fight, and both guys are saying that this is the biggest fight of their career, right? Well, definitely for Conor, and because of what's at stake and all of this, the whole connection with their dads, and people trying to make it like this is fight number 3. But at the end of the day, a lot of people are going to look at Ben and say, look, all of a sudden they're fighting at a catch weight. And it just so happens you never failed a drug test before. But now all of a sudden they find something in your system when it comes to the biggest fight of your career. So there's going to be a whole lot of things that people are going to tie into this. For Conor Benn, people like they all of a sudden they can't remember nothing that they ate or drank. But you got to use common sense, and you have to understand there's certain things that you can't do. And how much will come out of this after the fight? I don't expect anything to be said different. Either he's going to say he know what he took, or he took it a long time ago, or he didn't take it, whatever. We don't know. I'll tell you what, though. For this fight, it's not even a title fight, but people are looking forward to it. And the thing about it, this fight went from being a huge concern about Conor being a much smaller guy naturally, going up to fight a bigger Chris Eubanks Jr. And so now that fight went from that to people actually looking forward to this fight happening. So this type of stuff is like, ugh, come on again, man. Because when we first heard it, I didn't make a video right away because I wanted to hear something else, get some more information. Because what I saw was like, okay, but we didn't hear them say the fight's off, and then I didn't hear anything from Eddie Hearn, anybody else from Matchroom or Sky Sports or anywhere else. Like nobody, um, they had a few shows that talked about it, but basically that's all we heard. No follow up of, you know, after the fact that he failed the test. And then we didn't hear, they always talk about the B sample, you know, you fail your B sample, then you're dirty. So basically, this is not about, it's never, to me, about, because it's a big fight, let it go on anyway. I think for Chris Eubanks, he's just supremely confident. Okay, and I think they both want the fight, obviously, but for someone that you understand isn't equal to you, or at least on the same level with you, you don't want anybody having any unfair advantages. Now, here's a guy now the whole 60% thing, I think that's just, like I said, I think that's just Chris trying to get under kind of skin, and it works. Even his dad saying that people should boycott the fight because, his son's health is at risk. He has to come down to 157. Look, we all know damn well nobody's going to boycott the fight. That's just Chris doing what he's doing. So, overall, his son has to say so, not him. So, that's just, a bunch of trolling type stuff. Let's piss them off as much as we possibly can. So, as of now, the fight's still on. And, like they said, he passed all tests. And, people going to say that they don't care. They just want the fight to go on because there's a lot of money involved. And you know what? Those are all logical arguments. But what the truth is, well, we don't know. And the thing about it is Chris Eubanks Jr. is saying, nah, we want the fight to go on regardless. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully it was something that just went wrong, that he didn't purposely try to take something to have an advantage in the fight. But, people got to be more careful, man. They have to be more responsible about what they're putting in their body. Because at some point, it's just like, for every one time it happened, then it happens again, then it happens again. It could be different people, but everybody just starts tying it in. And it's like all these damn drug cheats and, So we'll just see what happens. I just wanted to get this video in. That's really just my thoughts on it. We don't have anything other than what was said. The fight's going to still go on, and then we'll just see, what happens after that. The thing is, it's going to be an uneasy feeling towards kind of Benn for a lot of people because they feel like, oh, you see what this guy did? He's a cheat, And I guess we'll just see what happens. And like I said, I don't support cheats at all, and I don't know the actual facts. Just like them saying they passed all the tests, we don't know that. Whether we choose to believe it or not, it doesn't change what the truth is. And the thing is, we don't know the truth. That may very well be the truth, that he passed all his tests and that he's clean. Who knows? And I say that because let's not forget something. Freddie Pacheco came clean about Muhammad Ali when he fought Larry Holmes. They said that Muhammad Ali was failing all his tests. He couldn't even do the, he was slow keeping up. His speech was already slurred. But they let the fight go on anyway. And there was people that was there, but Ali needed money. Yeah, well, you need a whole lot more money to get yourself wheeled around in a wheelchair, or you end up in some nursing home somewhere. I get it, but I just feel like they should have did something for Ali financially. Man gave his life to the sport, just fighters in general. And then you end up in a situation where you're fighting past your prime and fighting when you're not even getting good health, simply because you need money. Just think about this. When Ernie Shavers fought Muhammad Ali, right? That was 1977. Muhammad Ali, basically after he lost to Spinks and got the title back, everybody said that should have been his last fight. But in terms of the actual damage that was done to Ali, we can't see what is an accumulation of fights. I would assume, But we can't say what fight. Like, let's just say if there's any one particular fight that he had too many. So we can't say that if he didn't fight Trevor Berbick last, that he was already developing Parkinson's, like according to Freddie Pacheco when he fought Holmes, and Holmes wasn't his last fight. Trevor Berbick was, and basically, for them to cover that up, and we talking about a guy who literally wasn't in good health. So, and the reason why I say that is because I remember in that fight, people really saw that as a great fight because it was like Ali couldn't dance like he used to, so he stood and fought more than what you're used to seeing. And to take flush shots from Frazier, he won. From Shavers, and he won the fight. But it's just the point that at that age, the age he was at that time is just like Shavers caught Ali on the end of his career. You understand? And that happening. Look at Ali before he passed. Look at how many years he lived with Parkinson's and just, brain damage and all. Like just look at how long he lived like that. And just imagine if he's in the fight, you assume that he must have passed all his tests. Freddie Pacheco said no. That fight should have never happened. So no different in the simple fact that people will still look and say just because they say he's clean doesn't mean that he really is. So we don't know. But I just think it's a shame, man, how these fighters, it just keep happening. It just keeps happening. When I first heard about it, I'm thinking, damn, don't tell me you go another cancel fight. Like, here we go. No AJ Fury, no Crawford Spence, now this shit, right? So, but that's all we got right now anyway. So we'll wait to see how things go. Hopefully he is clean. Hopefully it's a fair fight no matter who wins. And that's just what it is. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And I will catch y'all on the next video. Talk to me in the comments.